Good evening. I'm Chris Coursey. Come along as I sit down with artists, filmmakers, musicians, and creative people who help shape our community. From emerging artists to established entertainers, we'll explore the journey behind the art and the inspiration behind the work. Each conversation is a little more than an interview, it's a celebration of culture, creativity, and the power of local talent. Thank you for joining me as we spotlight the voices of Tahlequah and beyond. In this episode, we have local artist Chris Ray. He's an artist that creates Cubanist, abstract, and expressionist works. He's also a phenomenal photographer and a local musician. So thank you for joining us, Chris Ray. Me and you have been friends for a little bit. I hired you a while back to do some photography for a sculpture that I created that sold to Turkey Nation. But since then, I've been inspired by your artwork that's been posted on your social medias and stuff. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, it's been a little while since we did that photography project. That was cool. Been an artist my whole life. Started as a kid, basically playing with little scraps of wood that my mom would make when she would make her little projects, little pieces that fell on the floor. I was allowed to play with those because there's basically no consequence if anything happened to those. I could take them and nail them together, sand them down, and take the discarded pieces and basically piece them together and see what I can make out of it, which is kind of what my art looks like now. Little broken pieces that have been kind of put back together. So
that's pretty interesting. I like to see that, how your mom fostered your creativity.
Oh yeah. And she always wanted me to explore different options. My parents were never discouraging of experimentation when it came to art. Same with music, and been in bands my whole life. So was my dad, and so they've always been very open-minded to when it comes to art and music.
You do photography, but you create impressionist and Cubanist works. Here's just a couple of examples of his work. I thought your works were mainly watercolor, but it's actually multimedia, correct?
Yeah, they look similar to watercolor because I use a lot of water, and I tend to use watercolor paper. So I use watercolor paper, but there's a certain brand that I use, and I actually take the watercolor paper and turn it over. So I use the smoother side. So I like to be able to get the paper that I can use both if I want.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you the last time I used the actual watercolor side.
Yeah.
I used to use it a little more, but now I just flip it over and use the smoother side. But I use acrylic paint, colored pencil, ink, and pastel sometimes. I haven't been using as much pastel lately, but yeah, usually those three all the time.
How long do you spend on one of your works? It's a speedy, like a free association work, or you like plan it out? Or tell me a little bit about that.
It depends. Those are two good examples of the very different process.
Okay.
So that portrait, I spent a lot more time planning that one out because I'm not a very good portrait artist, and so when I am going to do a portrait, not that that's a realism type of portrait, but whenever I do anything that even resembles that, I feel like I have to take a lot more time and I use a reference photo of somebody, and I kind of do, you know, kind of look at that, and then we'll go from that as an example. The other one, I just made it up completely, no reference photo. I just thought I'm gonna just draw it, and then so those can vary depending on how much I want to do. So I just thought I wanted to make a bird, and so I just made it, and then the whole time drawing it, I mean, it was just a couple of minutes. And then, so some pieces, I mean, I have hundreds of pieces, so I could go through each one and be like, that one took me X amount of time, that one took me 10 times long. You know, it really varies, but
Okay.
Usually if you see any kind of portrait like that, that one took me longer. That's pretty much safe to say.
Okay.
So, but I like the free-flowing kind of. A lot of times I'll do drawings in one line. Like the pen will never come off of the paper. So, a contour line drawing, I believe, is what that's called. So, some of the pieces, complete abstract pieces, and then I go in and fill them all out. And sometimes it's fun to just to make a complete drawing, never lifting the pen. You know.
I like that. So you grew up in Tahlequah or near Tahlequah?
In Bartlesville.
In Bartlesville.
But I've been in Tahlequah since 2001.
Okay.
So with the exception of about a year and a half, I moved. Well, probably 2 years total. Long story short, you know, moved away for a little bit and came back. But all in all, I've been here since 2001 to come to school, and then pretty much been here ever since.
Yeah, I think you got a graphic design degree at NSU.
Technically, they didn't have graphic design. I tell everybody graphic design because it's just easier, but it was called visual communications.
Okay.
So it was basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So visual communications with an emphasis in photography and a minor in fine art, which is my actual degree. But usually when people ask me, I just say graphic design. It's just a lot easier to spit that out. So they don't even do the visual communication thing anymore. They might have changed it to graphic design now.
What's maybe the pros and cons of that? Has that helped your creative process, or
Like going to school
enhance
for
your art in any ways? You know, going to school for.
Yeah, it did in a lot of ways, because you learn how to take constructive criticism. So you get a thick skin, because part of the process of being in school is, so say I made that portrait for an assignment, then I have to take that portrait on the last day of the week or whatever. Everyone takes their drawing or painting, and they have to put it up in front of the class. Everybody's piece is up there, and you may not know whose is whose. And everybody has to go and pick apart every piece. You have to say something. Like you get graded. Excuse me. You get graded on saying something, and you almost get points taken away if you don't comment. So everyone's trying to find something negative to say and something positive. So it's like they kind of beat you up, and then they're like, "But I really like how I did the thing with the eyes," and so you're like, "Oh man."
Well, that's good.
But you know, if you really spend a lot of time on it and you work really hard on it, it can hurt your feelings pretty bad. So those days weren't too fun, but you learn really quick what you're doing wrong, because the whole entire class is like, yeah, I agree. And
yeah, you can take it with a grain of salt. But
yeah,
it gives you a little introspection.
They're not trying to be mean. They're just looking at it from like a, you know, they may not know who you are, which is what you want, honestly. That you don't want anybody to like go easy on you, because yeah, they know who you are and everything. So it's only going to help you in the end, but in the moment, it's brutal. You're sweating. You're like, oh God, don't. You know, maybe you misheard something on the assignment and you completely did something wrong, and everybody's just like, well, they didn't follow instructions and this and that, and you know, it's just embarrassing. So And then at the end of all that, you have to walk up there and grab your piece. Like, it was yours? Like, oh my God, I didn't know I don't know. It's just, that kind of stuff is rough. But
I bet.
But at the end of the day, afterwards, now that I'm this far removed from that, it's like, you know, it ends up being beneficial.
That's good. Has growing up in Tahlequah helped influence your artwork?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I've technically lived here longer than I lived in Bartlesville now at this point. I left Bartlesville when I was 19. Now I'm 44, so, you know, it's been quite a while. And I went to school here, got married here, got divorced here, had a child here, just had a lot of life experience here.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it here. I mean, I love the river, the lakes, I mean, everything that outdoors that we have here. The culture, the people, everything. It's a small town, but we're not far from Tulsa or Fayetteville. We're like kind of basically the same distance. But
an hour away from some cool
yeah,
stuff.
we're not far from a lot of really cool things, and you can kind of go and do those things, but then still come back here, and you don't have to, you know, take a whole weekend to go do all that stuff. So I feel like we're in a cool little spot. So yeah.
Cool. You said you kind of got into your recent and most modern artistic flow around 2019. Is that when you started doing more photography, or also painting and stuff?
Well, the photography I'd been doing quite a while, since like 2011 or 2010 actually.
Okay.
2019, towards the end of that, early 2020, I went through a divorce, like a separation, and then moved into a new place, and so I just found myself having a lot of time just by myself, and then COVID happened, and it was just a very strange time for everybody, as we all know, and we started doing so I had been doing some art before that. I mean, obviously I've said my whole life, but it's really starting to kind of change up things around that time. But they were doing a lot of those live streams during COVID. I don't know if you remember that, but since everybody was in quarantine, people were live streaming art. I started doing that.
Okay.
And I had one live stream where I had like 200 people watching me, and I was just drawing like a little beetle or something, but I was doing it with stippling, so because I wanted something that would take a while, because I'm talking to people and I was playing records and putting the name of the record, and people could request things, and it was really fun.
That's interesting.
And it kind of got me thinking of just that different side of my brain that started working. Before that, I was doing a lot of building miniatures and like old rundown structures and things like that, and just a different kind of art. But
I really like your miniatures.
no, thanks.
Possibly they can be used for film
Yeah.
sets, possibly enforced perspective.
Yeah.
I
would
really
to
like
go
your
more.
creativity and trying to get your name and presence out in our community.
Yeah.
He randomly puts up
It's upside down.
artwork out at different locations. Sometimes he's created them with magnets so that they stick to different metal posts or whatever, and but they can be easily removed. Some people find them and take them home and
Yeah.
become hopefully a follower of his. He posts stuff every day to social medias on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll put a link to his Instagram, his TikTok, and his Facebook and stuff in the description of the video. That also we want to talk about, like you're learning you're exploring other options possibly of art, like you like learning new techniques and mediums, and are you still playing music or?
Not so much now. Music was something I did for most of my life, and then I did some solo stuff, but music is tough because people want you to, it's hard to explain, but so if you're a solo artist that has original music and you want to play a set, say 45 minutes, and you approach somebody, they want you to play for 3 hours and be the entertainment for the whole night. And it's like, I can't do that. I just want to like be on a show with another band. Like that's what I grew up doing. It's like you'd have 3 or 4 bands, everybody plays for 30, 45 minutes, then there's a headliner and they might play a little longer.
It's a good night.
Yeah, and then, but a lot of times around here they want you to be the night's entertainment and play 3 1-hour sets, and it's like, I mean, I just can't do that.
You want me to repeat myself?
Right. Yeah, and I just have never been able to do that, and so trying to get shows, it's just so much time went into it, and I would end up playing shows and spending a ton of time getting ready for it and make no money, and it's like all this like just for exposure, and I don't know, it just really wasn't it was kind of losing its charm, I guess you could say.
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it is fun, don't get me wrong, but I prefer like just being able to make art and post it. I don't have to rely on other people to give me permission if I can do it or not, or I don't have to call someone up and say, hey, can I make art tonight? Will you allow me to do it at your venue? You know what I mean? Like, so it's something that I can just do whenever I want, whenever I feel like it, and I can start something, finish it, and post it, and it's done. So that really just consumes me more than anything nowadays, I would say. It's just being able to paint.
Well, I like your work. It's original and inspiring.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
I can see a little melancholy undertones in most of your work, but
Yeah.
to me that's a little appealing. You still do the photography quite often as well?
I don't do it as much. I used to try to do portrait stuff. That's tough too. And that's another one of those things where it's like you put yourself out there, you advertise. A lot of people want and there's nothing wrong with this, what I'm about to say, but a lot of people want a lady to photograph them rather than a guy, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
So like when you see a lot of people, they have like family photos, senior pictures. The photographer that did it is most of the time it's a lady. It's whatever. Like, so when I would post it, I feel like people just didn't. I don't know. I don't know if they're just not as comfortable doing it or what. So I did that quite a bit, but then it would be really good at times, and then it would just be nothing for a long time. So I just kind of stopped doing that, and I would just do street photography, which I still love doing that. But I've been doing that around here for so many years, since around 2010, that I don't want to say I've run out of things, because it's all about perspective, but I can't tell you how many times I've driven around with my camera trying to find something. So
new perspective.
Yeah, and
something new.
I need something new. So now I do a lot of it when I travel. And I used to go to New York City quite a bit just for street photography. I've been there like 6 or 7 times. And I used to just go there and just wander around, take photos, and so now when I travel, that's like my brain switches to like, this is a whole new place. I'm gonna walk away, give me at least like 10 cool photos, depending on how much time I have. If I'm just going there for that, I'll have way more than that. But if it's like a family vacation, I may not get as much, but I'll get something, that's for sure.
I love seeing your stuff. The New York stuff was amazing.
Oh yeah, thanks. That was fun. I would
Perhaps
love to go
maybe
back.
you can combine your photography with your multimedia style or something in the
Yeah.
future or something.
Yeah.
Who are you outside of art?
It's a deep question. Well, I mean, there's a lot of other things I like to do. I mean, first and foremost,
You like fishing, right?
I love to fish.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go next weekend with my two best friends that I've been best friends with since I was a little kid. We're going camping and fishing. But yeah, I have a daughter, so that's the most important thing to me.
Is she going with you?
She's not going on this one.
She goes with you
She
sometimes?
goes with me though.
Okay.
Yeah, her and I might go like following weekend or two, somewhere around there. But
Cool.
but yeah, I love to fish and camp, go explore. I love going to flea markets. I love finding the best tacos. That's one of my favorite things to do in Tulsa is find the best taco truck or something. But I love old bookstores. Lots of cool little things like that. So love to travel. If it wasn't so expensive, I would probably go somewhere every few months. But it's plane tickets aren't cheap. So
Yeah. Nothing's cheap anymore.
yeah.
Is your daughter, is she following in your footsteps or anything? Is she
Yeah.
creative?
She loves to draw and paint. She just painted me a picture of some little flowers to hang on the wall for spring. So I got that up. She is way into dance, more like that side of creativity. She likes dance and stuff like that. So we'll see where she goes, which direction she goes, because her mom is creative, and so she has options and she has support to kind of do whatever. So we'll see which path she ends up taking. But when she comes over to my house, I always have art out, so she can always jump in and paint and make something, and so she'll do that when she's over quite a bit, which is always fun. Listen to records and paint. My child, it's always fun.
People can find your stuff also at Tahlequah Creates. It's a local gallery downtown. I think it's at 215 South Muskogee. His work's also a part of a artist coalition that's Tulsa Hummingbird.
Yeah, Hummingbird, Fine Arts and Crafts, I think is how you say it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I'm gonna have it there for a little while longer. It's on the same street as the Church Studios, the famous legendary Church Studios. So it's a really cool little, I guess just one block and a half of record stores, restaurants, studios, and art galleries. So
How long have you been a part of Tahlequah Creates?
About a year, I think.
Okay.
It's funny because I had applied like 4 years ago, and I think my application slipped through the cracks somehow, and I just thought maybe they didn't like my stuff and they never called me.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a message.
Misplaced or something.
Yeah, I got a message out of the blue one time, and they're like, "We're so sorry, we didn't see this." It got there's no telling, and I'm not mad or anything. I just think it's funny. But they messaged me and they're like, "Do you still want to be a part of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." I thought you guys didn't like me. But they were like, "Yeah, you can bring some stuff down." So I've been there for about a year, and I've sold a decent amount of stuff there. It's actually been really good. I like it. They're really good people that work there and run it, and it's in. I mean, you can't get a better spot in town really to to display, and it's literally like in the heart of town. So
Yeah, it's
people that visit
pretty
come
good
by there.
community. They have something going on there all the time, and
Yeah.
there's so many artists that are part of it.
Yeah, they have shows there every Friday, pretty much. Like musicians that play. They'll do even like poetry nights. They'll show movies. Like they do all kinds of stuff. And plus, any festival we have downtown, they block the town off, and it's in there. It's in that area where there's tens of thousands of people just walking by.
Yeah,
So
it's a great spot for
yeah, you can't really get much better.
being part of everything that goes on.
Yeah, so it's great. I'm glad I'm a part of it.
Well, that's good. Let's remind everybody where they can find all your social medias. It's you got Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Yeah, those are the main three that I use. Instagram is Chris David Ray _art, and then all of the other ones are just Chris Ray Art. So I tried to make that for Instagram, but it was taken. So but yeah, Chris David Ray _art, and that one you can just scroll and scroll and scroll and see everything I've made since 2020 or maybe even longer, honestly. And then TikTok, I try to make I'll try to make video, and some of it's like time lapse of me making a piece. Sometimes it's from start to finish. Sometimes it's just just random little things.
Yeah. Just a part of the process.
Yeah, just doing what I can to try to get people to see what I'm doing.
I think that's about all we have today. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with people that, other than what we've talked about?
I mean, not really. I mean, just keep supporting local art. It means the world to the artist whenever they go to a gallery and realize they actually have a check waiting for them, and they didn't know it, and or if they have an online store, buy a print, or even just following somebody online means a big, a huge deal to an artist. And like when I leave these little things around town, if somebody were to find it and tag me in it or something, that would mean the world to me, just to acknowledge something like that. So with artists, a little goes a long way, in my opinion. So if you follow me online, you can see where I do stuff like that. I'm actually going to start leaving prints around. So if you like my stuff, there's a chance that I'm going to just drop random prints, and I'll leave the coordinates.
He leaves these little works all around Tahlequah.
I'll do
If
clay.
you see one, give him a shout out on social media, follow him, take it home, put it on your fridge, tell people about it. Go down to Tahlequah Creates, you can find some of his work, or to the Tulsa Hummingbird place. We'll put a link to all his social media stuff and everything in our description. I really appreciate you, Chris, being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
I want to thank you for being on Good Evening with Chris Coursey.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.